heard they checking for me, no one checking on me, so I had to go run up a check. I got the message on me, ain't no flexing on me, my attorney gon' call and collect. Blessings on blessings for me, my successes only made them envious, they got upset. I had to put all their egos in check. I want the money, the power, respect, and I heard you know so-and-so, you not a threat, cause I really know so-and-so, they like my family, so they go pretend that they cool till they bust at your motherfucking chest. I'm getting gutter, my flow been like butter, my check in the bank, they see the number. All of my haters feel one of two ways, really upset or they show some respect. I can't even think about it, I've been up, so read about it, no beat around it, straight to it, no ring around it. You coming for me, we'll see about it, we'll never see it when I get my feet up. 100 meters where I run the fee up, and go for king and nine, I'm on a pia. I had to re-up on a reel, so you stay the feeder, and put it back into the bit, cause I don't really need it. I heard they checking for me, no one checking on me, so I had to go run up a check. I got the message on me, ain't no flexing on me, my attorney gon' call and collect. Blessings on blessings for me, my successes only made them envious, they got upset. I had to put all their egos in check. I had to put all their egos in check. You're not entitled to anything else. I get 10 years of this under my belt. Your art is an art, they don't feel it, and nobody hears it. And this should stay on the shelf. Your ego done got in the way. It gotta die today. It gotta go. You should be happy I lighten the load. The weight of your arrogance, heavy as stone. I make an appearance, they already know. That chip on your shoulder gon' crumble and fold, yeah. It's not a secret that you have been fearing the shit that I'm on. So you back to the brag and the boast. But I'm in a class of my own. I heard they checking for me, no one checking on me, so I had to go run up a check.
Wow, I didn't beat the buzzer. I did not beat the buzzer. I was grabbing beer and I thought I would make it to hit the intro, but I didn't. Let me go ahead and bring my esteemed colleague and correspondent, Eddie Nunez.
What's up, the one and only OriginaldoBo at 51,000 subs now.
Yes, in honor of 51 drones. We may just hang here for a little bit, you know? I don't know. We may just hang. It is Wednesday, dude. It is Wednesday. It's crazy. We're already in December. It is December 1st. Crazy. It is it's so nuts how fast the year is blowing by. 51,000, December 1st. That means, you know what I hate about this, though? You know what I hate about this is that tax season is going to be coming soon.
Oh, yeah.
I hate tax season. I just hate that. I hate that. Like, this is a great time. I don't want to think about that, but in the back of my mind, I know it's coming, and I'm like, I got to do all that shit. So
yeah, but you know, I used to think like that, but in thinking positive, right? If you're paying taxes, then you're making money.
Right,
If you're not
exactly.
paying taxes, then I think you have bigger fishes.
Yeah, if we're not paying taxes, we got bigger problems. So that is a half glass full. Fuck it, whatever. Glass half full. There it is. There it is. What are you drinking tonight, Eddie?
I am drinking a how can I explain this drink? Something soothing, something calm, a very respectable drink.
Okay.
And that is Canada Dry Seltzer water.
I'm gonna start calling you Paul. No, more appropriate. I'll call you Paulito.
You know why though, right?
What's going on? You got to work tomorrow. That's why.
Well, yeah, I work every day. I'm not like you.
What are you talking about? I'm not on permanent vacation.
But no, I did a good job losing my gut for like 30, 45 days. Then I started drinking again, and then I saw the massive explosion of my stomach again.
I think what it is, we have to do something additional. Like, you can drink, but we have to be active. We got to actively so I'm going to try to be more active. Like, I'm going to drink, but I'm still going to be, I got to be active. But I think we got to be proactive to be active, to be reactive, to not, whatever. Yeah. I'm going to drink this blood orange Belgium style Shipyard brew from a Florida brewery. It looks really super delicious. So I'm excited to try this. Tonight, we're going to have some interesting conversation. I want to play a what if game with you, Eddie. I want to play the what if DJI didn't release the Mavic 3 and they gave us another Mavic Mini. So we're going to play what if tonight in this conversation. crack open this beer, have a sip, Baruni. It has
Mm. I think that's going to be a good conversation. I think,
yeah.
just Mavic Mini overall will be
Mm.
more relevant to a larger audience, a larger,
Right.
people in this space versus the Mavic 3.
So here's my thought on this. I was thinking about it. I was sitting there, as I often do, and I was waking up this morning, and I was thinking, I'm like, man, I want to go fly. I'm gonna go fly this morning. I'm gonna go catch a sunrise, and I'm gonna go fly the Mavic 3. I get to the office, I open the door, and then I realized my Mavic 3s are gone because they're all out for repair. They're all out for repair. I don't have a Mavic 3, and I was like, well, what the hell? And I started thinking to myself, wouldn't it have been a better idea for DJI? Hear me out. For DJI, thank you, Metro Drones, for the $20 Happy Drone Brews Droners super chat. Wouldn't it have been a better idea if DJI said, you know what? Let's go ahead and just release the Mini 3 because it's going to appeal to a wider base of users. They could have priced it at, let's say, $500, right?
Right.
And if they added some minor new features, maybe they figure out a way to add obstacle avoidance and all these wonderful things. It appeals to a wider user base. And the reality is, a lot less people probably would have been dissatisfied because this cost $500-600, and a lot more people could afford it for the holidays, right? Because $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 is asinine. And it would have gave them a little bit more time. It would have gave them a little bit more time to perfect the Mavic 3. So yes, they're capitalizing on sales over here, and they're in everybody's stocking for the holiday. And then CES rolls around and they say, boom, here's the Mavic 3. Here's the Mavic 3 at CES, fully complete, ready to go. Everything's functional. We know it's working. Wouldn't have that to me would have made more sense.
I think so. Like from a
I don't
business,
understand.
from like a business perspective, like me putting on, let's say, my business owner cap and thinking, how do I capitalize? Like, it would be interesting to find out how many units of Mavic 3s have been sold already, and then maybe compare that to prior sales, right? With Mavic 2 Pros and even Mavic Minis.
Right.
I'm sure that they would have been able to double dip. Hey, Mavic Minis are very popular amongst the community.
Oh my
People
gosh.
love
Most
that
popular drone. Most popular drone by far.
And you know what shocks me is when I see these fantastic photos and videos, and
Yeah.
then I'm thinking, oh, Mavic 2 Pro, maybe like, let's say whatever it is. And I ask on the thread, I'm like, hey, what drone was this? And they say Mavic Mini. Like,
Isn't that crazy?
It blows me out.
Right. But that just shows, like, that's somebody that's like, okay, I have this drone and I'm going to leverage the equipment that I have to try to get the best possible image. So funny story. Remember that Mavic Mini I painted, and like the very first Mavic Mini. So my landscaping guy, good friend of mine, I've known him for years. I gave him that Mini. As ugly as it was. He thinks it's the most amazing drone in the world. It's his first drone. And he always texts me photos of like jobs that he's doing. Like he does a nice yard or something, and then he'll text me a photo. But the other day he took some photos at the beach with his family, and it was just like awesome photos. And he's not a photographer by any stretch of the imagination, but he got amazing photos out of it. And it got me thinking to myself, I'm like, man, if they would have gave us a Mavic Mini, check this out, Mavic Mini 4K, right? It could shoot 4K. It doesn't need to shoot 60 frames per second, maybe not, but knowing that Autel is going to give the nanos and these things could have the potential to do this, give us 4K 60 in this little drone, make it a little bit more professional. They didn't even need to call it a Mini 3. They can call it the Mini 2 Professional or something, like give us like some sort of corny ass name, Mini 2 Professional or Mini Pro, whatever. They could charge a premium $650, whatever, and just try to cram as much tech as they can into this little bastard of a drone and just shove it out there for the holiday. $650. Thank you. And you know what would have happened is it would have been perfect because they have the tech. They're not like trying to reinvent something. With the Mavic 3, they tried to go back to the wheelhouse and say, how can we reinvent this? We're going to cram this huge sensor in there. It's going to be a different gimbal. We're going to put a new obstacle avoidance system in here. And again, it's not 100% ready. And I think that's where a lot of people get pissed. And I know there's a lot of disdain for this drone, but it's warranted. It's warranted. The problem is, like, when you ask YouTubers, well, is it worth it? And they say, well, yeah, sure. Then the next question, the follow-up question should be, did you buy it? Was it given to you? Like, I can say all day long. I'm going to give you my unbiased opinion. If it was fucking handed to me, there's unconscious bias. Like, whether or not you say it's an unbiased opinion, there's this unconscious bias that exists in you because you were given it. It doesn't register. It's not something like you emotionally think about, but it's there. And because of that, I don't think a lot of people were completely truthful because of this bias that exists. They weren't willing to say, I'm a pissed off consumer. I paid for this drone, and it's not like 100%. It's an amazing product. But it's not an amazing product for right now. It will be with firmware updates. After they push out firmware updates and they flush out all the bugs, I think it's going to be an amazing product, but it's not there right now. So because it's not there right now, you can't say it's amazing. I mean, now granted, some people will have a great experience with it and some people will not. I think that's why there's so much negativity surrounding it.
And there's a lot of negativity out there right now. And it's interesting you bring up like the YouTuber perspective, right? Because I feel like the first initial videos were how great the Mavic 3 is, fantastic B-roll, fantastic, all this great positive stuff. And then now, not to mention any names, right? But now I'm seeing personally these same YouTubers now changing sides and saying, well, this is why maybe you should consider keeping your Mavic 2 or looking at an Evo. And it's spread across the platform.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just one of those things that, like, people are starting, the more you start using it, right? Every time you start using it and you use it more and more, you start realizing to yourself, well, shit, it's not perfect, and no product is perfect, right? No product is perfect. But you start seeing, like, there's some half-baked shit going on. And I would put money on it. That DJI is well aware, because I had a lengthy conversation with them over the Horizon Tilt issues. And then I started, like, perusing forums. By the way, I got banned from Mavic Pilots. I'm banned till December 10th. So if there's anybody from the Mavic Pilots admin board that is watching this show, I would like to first apologize. I want to apologize to you for my behavior. I came in there and I used the F word, and I called, I called them some pussies. I did. So, I want to apologize for my behavior. What I should have said is, go off, you is no more. Did you get that?
Yeah. You feeling better now?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. So that happened.
Hey, the thread about you was a hot topic on that forum.
Yeah, it was. It was that, like, the thread turned from Horizon Tilt to OriginaldoBo's behavior.
Yes.
So, I don't like Mavic Pilots. I am half tempted to just start my own website, just put money into funding a forum and call it, like, Mavic Flyers or not Mavic Pilots or something. I don't know. I mean, fuck Mavic Pilots.
But what I did notice, and shout out to the entire BREW crew, is all the supporters that you have. That was evident there. You had
I couldn't see. I could not see, because I came in there. Of course, I get into the forum. I sign out. I don't do forums because when I had a phone, when I used to do Android phones back in the day, forums were a shit show. It would make you believe like you had this faulty product. So I don't, ever since then I stayed away from forums, but I came in there guns a-blazing, and sure as shit, dude. They were like, well, your behavior, and you need to use a little bit different words. You need to extend your thesaurus and figure out some other adjectives and shit. I don't know. I mean,
they were pissed.
They were pissed. They were pissed. You know,
Yeah.
these are the pilots. These are the pilots that sit on their white throne. Like they sit on their throne and they cast. Like, you know, they sit up like here. They're like up here. They're like. That's how they are. They're like sitting here and they don't even fly. They like fly. They fly 10 feet. They fly 10 feet and they think they did something. They think they did something. Like the Mavic pilots, like the ones that are in the forum, they're like, they'll fly over water. They'll fly over water for like, they're like, I went over water. I'm back. And then they're like, you know, they're done. They're done. That's the admins of that group.
Hilarious. It's hilarious.
So I stay away from forums, but yeah, so fuck them. I'm probably permanently banned now. Right now, they're figuring out how they can like ban my IP
and MAC address.
Yeah, they're banning my IP and MAC address. So I'm going to make another account called Not Original Dobo. Now I just gave away my plan. So that happened. But what would you see? What would you like to see if DJI was to say to you, Eddie, we want to make a Mavic 3 or a Mini 3. We want to make a Mini 3. What would your ideal specs realistically? Yep. It's got to be realistic, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a budget drone. So what would you say you would want for a budget drone?
For me, I would think give me the Mavic 2 Pro or the Mavic Air 2S.
Okay.
In that smaller form factor in the size of a mini. So what does that mean? Right? 4K 60, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
Definitely try to give me D-Log if possible.
Okay.
4K 60 is very doable when we think about the Osmo Pocket. It's almost same camera design, and it's a very small little camera, and it can produce 4K 60.
Yes, it is.
It can do D-Cinelike. I'm sure we can probably also extend D-Log into that. And maybe some sensors, right? It doesn't have to be full 360 sensors, but give me the basic sensors, right? We don't all fly. I think for the majority of us that have been in this hobby, whether as a consumer or professional, we've been flying drones long enough that we have all these sensors and then we turn them off. And then we bitch when they don't work, or we bitch, but then at the end of the day, we end up turning them off because we don't fly with sensors.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things you like to have it when you need it. Like if you know you're doing something where there could be a potential danger, you want to have it. You want to have it. But in the same token, I do shut them off a lot of times. You know, if I have good visual line of sight and I know there's definitely nothing there, I do shut them off. And then of course, when I freaking use them, they don't work for me. And then I crash the drone anyhow. So then, you know, it's like, what's the point? So I think sensors, maybe front, actually, I could do without front obstacle avoidance. I would actually rather have side. I think most of your accidents when you crash a drone aren't from the front or the back. It's when you're turning sideways. You know what I'm saying? So give me side obstacle avoidance, call it a day on front and rear and top. I don't care about that, but give me side obstacle avoidance. Because I think I've hit more buildings, more bridges, more fences going sideways than going front to back. Going front to back.
Yeah.
Side it up. You know, that's what I would take.
Other than that, like, I don't know what else can we ask, right, for a drone. Like, all right, Mavic 3 is here, and I know I'm probably going way ahead of myself, but Mavic 4, like, what is the expectation now for Mavic 4? You know,
they're going to give well, I'm thinking it may be like a micro four thirds like plus, and then inside the box, instead of RC Pro, everybody gets a fleshlight. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, because nobody else flies. But I'm thinking it'll be something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, what more can you do? You've already hit this sort of, you know, I mean, I guess the best thing they could do is just make it a little bit better, right? Make it, you know, refine it. Just make it, refine it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The two things that I personally want to see in any drone going forward is the idea of cellular connection, right?
Cellular connection.
Like I'm in New York, right? So like OcuSync, whether it's OcuSync 2, OcuSync 3, like the range doesn't matter, because the minute that I go behind a building and we're surrounded by buildings, I'm losing signal. I'm losing quality. I'm not able to see my video. So I would like to see some sort of cellular connection. and improved battery life overall, right? And I think battery technology just hasn't improved as fast as we would like it to.
Sorry, I'm just reading the chat. That's, I started a whole thing. I was just telling Chris, I said, don't Google it. Don't Google it. Um, yeah, I mean, I think we're getting to a point where we're just sort of hitting these limits. I mean, I think the only thing that would be cool at this point is if maybe, instead of, leave the Mavic 3 exactly the way it is, right? Leave it the way it is, but allow maybe the next Mavic to work with maybe FPV goggles or something.
That's
And
cool.
right, let it work with FPV goggles. Give us a true FPV mode, right? So if you
Yeah.
wanted those more dynamic shots, you have one drone to rule them all. And I think that is what's missing most of all from drones right now. You have an FPV drone, you have a Mavic, and then you have, all this other crap. What if you had one drone that can do it all? It's like a convertible, right? It can be an FPV drone when you need it to fly FPV cinematically, but then maybe you want it to act more like a Mavic and then it can fly like a Mavic. I think DJI could give us like sort of that jack of all trades. I think that would be a cool drone to have. Give us something that is like a Swiss Army knife of drones where I can just pull one thing out of my bag and just say, I know I'm going to be able to get whatever shot that I'm looking for. And it can make everything dynamic. That way, all your colors match and
Mhm.
all that wonderful stuff. I think that would be pretty cool. I think that would be pretty cool. And I think they have the technology to do something like that. It's just whether or not they will. It's always a question of whether or not they will. They have the technology, but will they?
Or they would and make it $10,000 and then everybody's in the uproar again. You can't please everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a problem, is the fact that you're not going to make everybody happy. And, obviously we see that with the Mavic 3. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I had an issue with it. I don't think it's a bad drone. I like it. I was hoping they would have been back, but they're not. They're going to be out for, I don't know if I'll have one till probably another 2 weeks or so at this point, which
Yeah.
sort of really sucks. Um that's just unfortunate.
Yeah, switching gears just a little bit because you mentioned FPV.
Mhm.
So the DJI FPV was reduced during the holidays from 1,300 to 999.
Yep.
Right. And I think typically we see that when there's a potential new product coming out. I know there's a lot of rumors out there saying DJI FPV2. What
I
do you
don't think
think?
so. I don't think so. I think they're just merely capitalizing on stale stock, right? The FPV drone came out and everybody and their mother had to have it, right? And then what happens? They release the Mavic 3 and the Mavic 3 cannibalizes sort of that sales and that prowess. People are complaining that the Mavic 3 is too expensive. So now you all of a sudden reduce the price of a drone that was once $1,300. You make it like sub $1,000 technically before tax. And now all of a sudden people are interested in this drone, right? They're like, wow, it's $995. And little Johnny's going to buy that drone and be like, I got a DJI drone and it was only under $1,000. So, and then little Johnny takes it out, on Christmas Day and he's, watch out, Johnny, there's a telephone pole and it's dead. It's gone. There's one carry fresh blown up just like that Christmas morning. I mean, I love it. Like Christmas morning is the best day for drones. I mean, I've lost a drone on Christmas morning. Oh, that was painful. God, I remember that day.
Which drone was that?
I lost a Phantom 4 Pro
Wow.
Christmas morning. Truth be told, I think I didn't have a prop on correctly. And the fan, they can sling, and I think it slung a prop, and it lost it over a lake, frigidly cold lake in North Georgia. Went to the bottom, sunk.
Crazy. I lost a 3DR Solo on Christmas Day.
Oh man.
I decided, first drone ever. I went to my backyard.
Yeah.
And it just took off. Didn't wait for like GPS lock.
No.
Turned on, took off. That thing went up and swerved right into my house. And then I just took it to Best Buy and exchanged it for another one and went to the park.
See, I didn't have that option. Although even though I don't really know what happened to that, DJI did back then, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, they did take care of it. They were like, yeah, we see that there's a failure on the ESC. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. There was a failure on the ESC. I concur. Do you concur with Dr. Roberts? I concur.
Yeah.
I was not going to argue with them. You know, if they said they saw something that I didn't see, then I agree. I agree with you 110%.
Absolutely.
And they replaced it, and I was like super stoked, because I was like, at the time, I'm like, man, I was like $1,400, I think. And you know what? Come to think of it, if you go back 4 or 5 years ago, the Phantom 4 Pro was what, $1,600, maybe more.
I think it was more.
It was more. It was more. What was the price of that?
I think it was closer to $2,000, if I can recall correctly.
How come people weren't bitching about that?
Because I mean, it was that was sort of the baseline. There was nothing else to compare it to.
Yeah,
that was the drone to buy, right? Either what were your options back then? Phantom 4 or what?
Inspire, maybe a Unique.
3DR Solo, a Unique.
Yeah, Unique was available.
GoPro Karma, maybe at that time.
Good Lord, help anybody that had bought one of those. But yeah, there was nothing. You're right. There was nothing to compare it to. So back then, people weren't going to complain about something that they didn't know would have been better at the time. I think the Phantom 4 Pro was at the top of its class at that point. Like it was the best you can get, and that was the drone that everybody had wanted. So yeah, that makes good sense. I mean, I had one and I thought it was amazing. I actually had two of them, and I thought they were pretty damn good until I had the Mavic 2 Pro, and I was like, man, this is great. You know, I don't know. I mean, too many options. And right now, like, we're going to be in a lull. We're going to be in a lull till CES, because right now, Autel's trying to figure out what the hell they're doing. Those were supposed to be released, what, this month? We're in December now. Here we are in December, and Autel has still not released or provided any ETAs on the Nanos. That's so shameful. That is so shameful. I just want to know what their excuse is. Like, what's their excuse? You know, when did they announce that?
Wasn't it October? September, October?
I felt like it was September, because they said it was a nanosecond, and that's a long ass nanosecond. So, I mean, and that's not going to be, I honestly don't see those shipping. I mean, maybe they will like closer to the holiday, but then you're going to have logistics, shipping times are extended right now because everybody's trying to get gifts out. And by December 15th, December 16th, if those are not in retailers' hands, those are not going to be delivered by Christmas. So, I mean, it's just not going to happen. And then we're going to have CES. And I keep seeing people like, "Wow, I can't wait for the Evo 3. So help me God. If I show up to the Autel booth at CES and there's a fucking shiny Autel 3 there, I'm going to just be like, you know what? You guys can't even fucking release what you announced in September. And here you are taunting. You're taunting people. I won't even do a video on it, because it's going to be like, people will lose their shit. Yeah. They're going to be like, I want it now. Remind me of that girl from Willy Wonka. I want it now.
So really quick, B&H sends me endless, and I don't know why, but endless amount of Autel Evo emails, promotions saying, hey, pre-order the Evo Nano today.
Okay.
And I noticed on their site, and I just went there today, that they have an estimated, so you can pre-order, and they have an estimated availability that keeps changing.
What's the ability? What's the ability today?
So as of today, the Evo Nano Plus Premium Bundle, it is February 1st, 2022. Evo Nano, so not the Nano Plus, just Nano, $799 Premium Bundle, it is March 1st.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. So again, this could have been a prime. This is what I'm saying. This could have been a prime way for DJI, because think about it. The Mavic 2 Pro was still going toe to toe, and in most cases beating the Evo, because the reality is, here's the perception that people have. People believe, and I had this perception too, the Evo 2 Pro, they're like, it's such a better image. It's so much sharper. It's so much cleaner. No, it's not. Digital sharpening does not equal detail. Digital sharpening does not equal more details. That's the same thing GoPro does. And it tricks the end user into thinking that the image is better than something else. This is what happens with consumers. They don't know anything about fucking cameras, but they see it. They're like, that looks better, so it must be better. It looks better. It must be better. And they don't do any research.
I totally agree with that. You know, that bothers the heck out of me when I see a comparison.
Oh, I hate that shit.
And they're saying, oh, like the Evo looks, you know, the Evo quality is higher because of the sharpness is raised like the max.
And you know, even when you turn it all the way down, you just say, I'm gonna bottom out the sharpening. The Evo still has way more sharpening, like way more digital sharpening than any other profile. Even in log, which most of the times they don't have sharpening in log. They like you're expected to add that in.
Right.
And when I was color grading those clips from Hawaii, I was like, damn, there is a lot of fringing. There's a lot of like over sharpening happening. And to try to pull it out in post, it's hard. You can add sharpening in, but it's really hard to reduce it like the digital stuff because it's like baked in there and it's not. Phil, I'll tell you who did an amazing video talking about this very same thing is Philip Bloom. Philip Bloom did an amazing video talking about, you know, the perception of sharpening, and he compared it to GoPro. So he took the GoPro and then he compared it to, I think it was like a Sony camera, which was a good comparison because you can really see like, okay, I'm going to turn that sharpening down. I'm going to add a little bit of it back into post, but you get the idea is like, you don't really like the images aren't supposed to be like that. Like, it's not like a photo that there's nothing attractive about that. And detail in trees and things like that. Detail is, you know, when you have that dynamic range and you're able to like peer through, that's not sharpness. Like you shouldn't, it's just so silly. It's such a silly comparison. It frustrates the living shit out of me. Really does. So,
yep.
I don't know where the fuck it was, but I don't know. I got that wrong. You know what's funny though? I made a video. I talked about the Mavic 2 Pro when that first came out, and I feel like part of me made that video like 3 or 4 years ago because I was trying to justify my reasoning for purchasing the Mavic 2 Zoom at the time. So this is how you grow. Like you learn about cameras and you start growing and you start pivoting and you're like, oh shit, I was wrong. So back when I made that video, I was completely wrong. A lot of people sided with me, but we were all wrong because we didn't know shit about cameras. But now as you start learning about the cameras, you start pivoting towards a different point. Like you start realizing like, oh shit, what I knew before isn't what I knew what isn't what I know today. So quite literally, the more you know.
Yep. And going back to you know, something that we haven't seen in drones yet, but it's been discussed is interchangeable cameras.
Yeah, you know, and it's funny because they started out doing this. Like, so for instance, Autel does this with the Evo line. You can change the cameras out, but it really only works if you have the need for it. So like if you need a thermal camera, you can change out for a thermal camera. Or if you have an Evo 8K, you can change out for the 6K because then you can go up. But
is that easy to do?
No, I mean, it's not difficult. It's not difficult. It's fiddly. I mean, for Christ's sakes, Rick from Drone Valley, he changed the gimbal with the blindfold on. He changed the gimbal with the he fucking changed the gimbal with the blindfold on. I remember he did a video on that. I'm like, oh, I gotta watch this. This isn't gonna end well. I mean, but he did it. And I mean, yeah, I would not advisable. I mean, but it's not something you can hot swap. It's not something you hot swap. Like when they first introduced the Autel X-Star, when that first was introduced, people were like, that's it. That's going to be it, because there was that promise of that 1-inch sensor. And it was so simple to change that. You pull a tab and you pull the gimbal completely off. It was amazing. And then you could slide a new gimbal on if you so chose. But they never produced that. And I think that was the biggest fail on their part, was to not do that. And I think DJI should have picked up where they left off with that idea. Is they should have did that for the Phantom line, because people could have grew with that camera system. But then again, it would have cannibalized the Inspire line, which the Inspire line does have
True.
that, you know,
True.
which you know that.
Yep.
Lifted Vista Drone Services ask, do we still fly the Mavic 2 Pro? I know you do. I don't.
Yeah, I still do. Well, I'm hoping to transition fully now to the Mavic 3 now that I have it.
Yeah.
But I still have it. I mean, I'm a hoarder at the end of the day. Right?
Yeah.
I'm a hoarder. I have the 2 Zoom, I have the Phantom 4 V2, and I have the Inspire 2. The Inspire 2 I would really love to get rid of, but then I flew it recently when I went up to the Catskills and I saw its potential.
Yeah.
And I want to keep that. Like if I get a serious paid job, that's the drone that I'm going to go to. For now, it just sits there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people sold their Inspires when this Mavic 3 came out. A lot of people sold their Inspires. I saw a lot of Inspires for sale.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, oh shit, like if you wanted to buy an Inspire 2, now is the time. But I bet you a lot of them are regretting that decision now based upon what they know, like what they found out. Like that's why I always tell somebody, if you're going to sell your main drone, like if you do this for like work, hang on to it, fly the new product for a little while, like fly it, really put it through its paces, like put it through every possible scenario that you can before you make the determination that you want to sell your existing drone. If it works amazing during that time, then sure, yeah, go ahead, sell it. But I would say hang on to it as long as you possibly can first.
Yep. And it's interesting you bring that because I've been following that, because remember that was my thought process as well. I'm gonna sell my Inspire 2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that money to fund my Cine version.
Yeah.
And I didn't put it up on the market. And when I look online, I follow all this, right? Like I follow all these Facebook groups, I follow all these forums, and
Got a
these
lot of free
people,
time.
yeah, these people are pissed. They're pissed. Like they all, there's a great video out there as well comparing the Mavic 3 to an Inspire 2 X5S at night, and it blows the Mavic 3 out the water. Just standard 15 millimeter DJI lens, the kit lens that it comes with, X5S Inspire 2, just straight out of camera, it blows it out the water.
Yeah, I mean, the night footage, I'm not going to say I'm disappointed with the night footage. The stupidest shit happened to me. Like, I don't know. I think I told you, I went out to do comparison shots with night footage. And I'm like, my buddy Ron's with me. And I'm like, dude, this looks like shit. And I ended up calling Billy. I'm like, bro, I thought this night footage was amazing. You know what Billy tells me? He goes, take your ND filter off, you schmuck.
Oh, crap.
And he didn't even know it was like, because when we were in Tampa, like 2 years ago, he was flying and he's like, man, these shots look really dark. And when he landed, I was like, bro, you got an ND4 on there. And he's like, oh shit. He goes, I got to redo that shot. So he remembered that. And then he was like, dude, you got an ND filter on there. So yeah, I took it off and the shots were good, but they weren't like mind blowing. Now, Thanksgiving morning, this is like, I woke up, it was like just before sunset or sunrise. It was just before sunrise. So it's still sort of dark out. And I took the Cine version. This was the second time I flew the Cine version. I didn't know really 100% that there was horizon tilt. Like I used it the day before and I had horizon tilt, but I was like, no, it can't be. No, it can't be. Like, and I was like, no. So Thanksgiving morning, I wake up, I run to go shoot video. And, the first couple of shots I was getting, I'm like, fuck, the horizon's completely screwed. But I was shooting in ProRes. So I was shooting in ProRes. And what I noticed is shooting in ProRes, dude, it was so noisy. It was so effing noisy. And I'm like, man, this is bad. I go back to H.265. It was like super clean.
Wow.
ProRes, nasty. It was just dirty looking video. And I could understand it being dirty like that if it is raw, if it was raw format, because raw doesn't have any noise reduction and you're supposed to do all that in post. But this is ProRes.
Yeah, this is not raw.
This is not raw. This is ProRes, and it's a processed format. Yeah, it's not quite as compressed, but it should have been cleaner, and it wasn't. So, but needless to say, even after all of that, I didn't really even do any video because I was just battling this crazy effing tilt. And I was like, I got so mad. I was so mad I actually landed the drone. I was so mad I landed the drone. I was just like, nope. You can ask Ron. And I was like, I'm done. I'm ready to go.
I
ready to
think
go.
I think everyone has a horizon issue because
Yeah.
I'm starting to notice it now as people are posting their photos. I'm gonna be flying mine tomorrow for the first time, so I'll let you know. We're having finally good weather here in New York City,
Okay. Okay.
so I'll let you know. But I think now that you've mentioned it, I'm just looking at everybody's, like, some are more
More
intense than
pronounced.
others.
Yeah, it's more
Right.
pronounced.
Yes. But everyone has some sort of horizon issue, I've noticed.
But I see that's the thing with the standard version. When I had the standard version, I did not notice horizon tilt with the standard version. Even after I crashed it, I did not notice horizon tilt with that version, which makes no sense. And that's what I was trying to tell the guy from DJI when we were talking. I was like, this doesn't make sense. I said, this has to be hardware. I mean, wouldn't it sound logical or even plausible that this is hardware related to my unit and maybe some other units? Because if it was software, I think we would see a wider spread of people having horizon tilt. I said it doesn't make sense. Maybe you had a bad batch of gimbals that are lazy, and I don't think calling it horizon tilt is correct. I think it's more of it's like a drift. It's like a gimbal drift,
Mhm.
because horizon tilt, when you take off, your gimbal's crooked, and you can fix the horizon. But what happens is this only drifts when you're panning left to right or you're orbiting. Anytime yaw or left or right sticks are applied, that is when it is at its worst. So to me, it's like the gimbal is drifting because it can't catch up. And if you let it sit for a second, it does catch up. But it's like, at that point, why? Why do I like why? Yeah, I can get some great photos, but you can't get shit for video.
Yeah.
That's
And I
that's
think
just
part of it is because that camera is just huge. And maybe like the software fix would be to increase the motor strength, right? Like just raise it up.
Yeah, like maybe make it a little faster. I don't know. And then
Yeah.
a lot of people were like, "Oh, you got it in FPV mode." I so many of my comments get shadow banned by YouTube because I'm like, "Listen, fucker. If it was in FPV mode, I would know it's in FPV mode. Trust me. Trust me. And if I wanted to fly something in FPV mode, it sure as hell wouldn't be the Mavic 3. It wouldn't be the Mavic 3. Trust me, it's not in FPV mode, because the gimbal is like, it's stable. You know what I mean? And you start panning, it starts out okay, but it just progressively, it's like it just increasingly gets drunk.
Yeah.
So, but again, this also goes to show you there is something called purchase bias too. So you can be biased multiple ways. You can be biased because you're giving something for free, but then you also are buying something, so you're purchase biased because you're trying to justify and defend a product. Right? There's a lot of people that will just they'll put on their shield of honor, they'll grab their swords and pitchforks, and somebody said something bad about the drone that I purchased, but I'm not having any problems. And because I'm not having a problem, their issue doesn't matter. Their issue doesn't matter.
Mhm.
It doesn't affect me. It's like, if somebody had cancer, oh, it's not a problem. I don't care because I don't have. No, that's not how that is. There's a problem that needs to be solved. There's an issue that needs to be solved. I mean, I don't understand that. People will ignore the things that don't affect them until it affects them. And by that point, sometimes it's already too late, right? Sometimes at that point, it's already too late. So,
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell? I don't know.
Maddie Drone World says, "Why are we seeing Horizon issue only on the Cine version?" And in my opinion, Maddie, I think I've seen them spread throughout. It doesn't matter whether you have a Cine or standard. I think it's just maybe what batch you received, right?
Right. I mean, I guess it depends on where that product was created. There could be, it is completely, it is completely plausible that DJI has a small sampling of units that are having this problem. Now, here's the other thing to keep in mind is when we first saw the initial reviews, remember, these people had these units in their hands for weeks. Some of them had them in their hands for over a month or so. So they were flying it and reporting back to DJI. Obviously, if any of their units had an issue, they were going to tell DJI, and guess what DJI was going to do? Hot shot them another unit out, right?
Right.
Because the last thing they want them to do is to release a video that is not up to snuff.
Correct.
Now, with that said, this is a prime example. Like, X Dynamics should have took this page out of the book. Hey, we want you to fly it. Give us some feedback. Don't put a video out until you fly it and let us know if there's any problems. Now, if there's problems, we don't want you to put a video out, but we're going to fix those problems. But we don't want, we're not going to press forward with this campaign because we know there's a problem. Instead, what do? Yeah, put a video out. Yeah, you're telling them that there's a problem. We'll say something positive about it. I mean, what the hell? That's not how this goes. Like, you're playing with people's money. People want a product that is going to be as close to perfect as possible. There's no such thing as a perfect product, but there's things that are acceptable. And the problem is people get mad when you say that there's something wrong, because then they're like, oh, you're doing it for the clicks. I can assure you that I don't need the clicks. I can generate my own controversy without a drone. I can do that if I needed to. I don't need the clicks. I don't care about the clicks. I care about a product that's working and one that's not, that one that works, and then one that delivers to what I paid for. Like that's the thing. It's like, this drone is like, it comes right off my bottom line. So I'm pissed because that's my money. I mean, I guess I just don't understand that aspect. I don't understand that aspect.
Yeah.
Eddie, I want to do a segment today called Cheap Assholes on Etsy. This is a segment where we're going to read a message from somebody that just completely pissed me off. We're going to call this person Bill. His name is not Bill, but I'm going to conceal his name for sakes. So Bill messages me on Etsy the other day, and this is what he says. I'm disappointed you dropped your price from $19.99 to $14.99 just after I ordered, and I haven't even received it yet. This was 2 days ago, mind you. He's talking about my Cyber Monday sale.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, blank, we are running a Cyber Monday sale. We have no control over when orders are placed and who orders. Like, I don't have any control. I said, that's like me getting pissed that gas prices dropped after I filled my tank. It's ridiculous to even be disappointed. And he says, sorry, I didn't realize you are the size of OPIC and exchange on the open market. I don't know what he's talking about there. I do agree with you. You do have no control over when somebody orders or possibly order. But basically, long and short of it, was he wanted me to give him $5 back because he ordered my product after, and then the sale went on Monday. So, sir, if you are watching, fuck you. That is the most ridiculous thing. I did, however, refund you your money because I don't want a single red cent from you, because you claim that you are a small business owner yourself and you're bitching to another small business owner. Well, this is how I do business. Go fuck yourself. Customer service starts here and stops here. Goodbye. Dumbass. So that had me really fired up today, Ed. That had me really fired up today.
I could imagine. I was
like, I tried, and I try to be as polite as I can. But he was an asshole. Like, that just, I don't want him as a viewer. I don't want him as a subscriber. I don't want him as a customer. I don't want him as anything. Like he must think I'm Amazon or something. Like, when you place an order on Etsy, like, we don't have the option to honor things like I can't do. If I did that, I would probably go fucking broke, right? I would go broke. I mean, that's not how this works. I mean, it takes a lot of time. Like, I don't understand. Like, people don't understand. I literally live in this office, sitting here, pressing buttons, printing daily, because we got so fucked over with sales, which is a good thing. Not complaining about it, but like, when I gotta like read emails like that, you're whining over $5, and you're sitting on your avatar is of you sitting on a fucking Harley. You're whining over $5.
Crazy.
He's sitting on a Harley.
Yeah, like, what? I mean, $5 is it gonna make you or break you?
If $5 is really gonna make or break you, like, he's one of those guys that's like, he's probably like an extreme couponer. He's like trying to hit me with, like, I used to have those guys when I worked at Midas. I would have these extreme couponers try to tack on all these sales, and I'm like, no. I'm like, read the fine print. 1 coupon per repair order. 1 coupon per repair order. And then I used to have people that would come in, they want to bargain. Everybody want to barter. So I'm like, fuck this. I'm gonna have my price up here, and then we're gonna get down to exactly where I want it to be in the first place. I'm not stupid. I could write a book on automotive repair, asshole.
You did the right thing there.
I did. I gave him his money back. I don't, and he didn't respond. He didn't respond because he got his money back. But there's there's so many people that have got the same product. They're happy with it. They're happy with it. Like I had a guy today. He was from UK. Some reason I don't know what happened. Something got jacked up in shipping, and his order was supposed to been there already, and it wasn't. So I was like, so what, we'll just upgrade you to international shipping. I paid more in shipping than he bought in product. I paid $63 for shipping to get that product to him like in 3 days because he got his triple tech a tablet, and he bought a $20 mount. I paid $63 in shipping. But that's what you do to take care of people that are being nice. He was being nice. So Mark, if you're watching, you're a good guy, dude. Fucking people from the States need to, take note of that, asshole. But yeah,
Lon says, wait, you don't have a 90-day price match?
No, there is no 90-day price match. Definitely not a 90-day price match because the prices fluctuate. Like materials can go up. Like we had an issue when we first started printing these triple tech mounts. I was like, shit, we're running into an issue with the screws. Like the vendor raised the prices on us, so I had to raise my prices. So that's called inflation. So, I mean, what do people want? Julio's asked if I can fix my car. Man, I haven't put my hands on a wrench in some years. I don't miss it at all, man. Do I have a coupon code? Yes. The coupon code is FUCK 2021. My wife gets really angry with my streams. She's like, I can't handle watching you. I said, you can't handle living with me either. So there's that too. That's why I'm here all the time. So anyways, I think that's it. That's it, man. That's the show. I am working on real estate video. I actually shot a video. I used the Air 2S because my Mavic 3 isn't back yet. I was really hoping to use the Mavic 3, but you know what? Hindsight, I don't think I miss it that much, man. The Air 2S is still kicking along, man. Thank you. Please use the what am I drinking? I am drinking Shipyard Florida Brewed Blood Orange. Jimmy J says, hey, Bill, here how I get $5 worth of entertainment.
You know what that means, right?
What does that mean?
We have to do another segment really quick, a comment segment.
You want to do a comments? Oh,
yeah,
man.
He paid $5 for it. So we gotta deliver. We gotta deliver. I know B-Man is in the chat. B-Man loves that shit.
B-Man loved the comment segment. Yeah. All right, let's read some comments. I haven't looked at YouTube Studio all day. So let's all right, let's see. Maybe we'll get some good comments in here. So let me bring this out to its own window. Let me do screen share. I want to do a window and channel comments. I'm not going to hide anybody's name. So like if you're commenting publicly, then I mean, you're already out there. So what am I going to do? All right, Eddie, let's do this. Let's switch over to our Dobo window here. So we're on the bottom, comments are on top.
Yep.
What we're looking for is those angry people. We're looking for those angry people.
And disclosure. Well, I think we're past disclosure already.
Yeah, we're past disclosure.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing anything really bad though. Like nothing really bad. For the most part. Yeah, it looks good. Oh, this is one that keeps coming up on this. My name is Giovanni Giorgio, but everybody calls me Giorgio. People think I reverse the video. Like I don't reverse. Like I literally hand catch them that way. Like how am I going to throw a drone? Like if you watch the video, it slams into my hand so fast. Mm-hmm. How would I throw it and it take off in this? There's no way. Like it's not a reverse video. So fuck you, Felipe or Laura. Cut off my tongue to say it. Let's see. Got it. I saw a bunch of videos complaining where people complain about Horizon Tilt. Okay, so there you go. So there's that one. Calibrate it. There we go. Let's see.
We might have to switch to held.
I mean, these are stuff. Oh, you want to look at held for review? Okay,
we're looking for juicy stuff.
Woo, Come on, all right, let's go.
Worth out of here.
Held for review. Oh, here's DJI. Oh, DJI responded.
Oh, wow.
Why did this get flagged? Oh, you know why they put a website there? Which I already reached out to them. Oh, and they reached out to Ross. So Ross did get his going on. So there. These are really not bad. But see, what happens is people put a link there. That's the reason why it bans it,
I see.
because
The link is
they put a
consistent.
link. That one, I don't know why that one took off. I don't know. That one didn't even look bad. Did he put a link or something on this? That doesn't seem that bad.
Maybe because he says he loves you.
Nah, I will approve that one. I don't know why that got in there. And it's blocking hashtags too. That's so weird that it does that. It blocks hashtags. That's funny.
I think you've been good.
I think I've been good. How is this possible? We don't have any assholes.
Well, we just called them today.
Oh, here's mine. Clickbait. This one. Like, bro, you're a fucking. That's 1 year ago. I mean, give me a break, asshole. We got any mentions? Oh, I didn't even see that. Like, you can look at this.
I never even noticed that.
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
There goes time to fly with your lot.
Yeah, time to fly with the LUT.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, you got to get yourself a Pilot Institute. I never noticed this. Oh yeah, that's when that guy did that thing on me. That was fun. It's been a fun year.
You should do a
dude, I can't believe it. This is great.
Do a 2021. What does YouTube call it? I forget. The rewind. A Dobo 2021 rewind.
Yeah, I should. I guess I'll have to.
It's time consuming, but that would be interesting.
You know what it is? I go through stints where I reply to people politely. Like I reply like a normal human. Like I don't know. But then it's like when I really rip somebody a new asshole, then YouTube pulls it. But like they can comment stupid, but I can't sound. I don't know. Man. Well, this guy right here. Yeah, I think we've been good, Eddie. I think we've been good. I can't believe it. That's sort of I don't know. It's sort of nice. It's nice. Like I sometimes dread, like sometimes when you put a video out, you dread like looking at the creator app. I just ignore it for like a week or so. But then when I go to it, a lot of times it's actually pretty positive.
Yep.
I don't know. That's good though. Well, good. That's how it should be. Good on that. Well, I think Eddie, December 1st, we did a good job on the stream tonight. We made some friends. Hopefully, Mr. Bill, learned his lesson about all of his shit.
He's probably a very happy guy because you refunded him. Yep. He got his wife's account and purchased it and saved $5 and got the product.
Yes. Ethan is in the chat. Ethan is my business partner, and he always gets the messages too. So so when we ship things, sometimes it's myself and sometimes it's Ethan, and for the most part, like he'll be like, he just shakes his head, like he already knows, like if he sees a mess, he already knows I'm going to be on it, and he doesn't even say anything. He just lets me deal with it, and then he's just like, well, that escalated quickly, so he already knows how it's going to go. Sometimes we're like, what the fuck? Like, why? So, but yeah, good show tonight, guys. Yeah, that's it, man. That's all we got for you. Eddie, you got anything else, Edward?
No, we'll be back in a nanosecond next week.
No, we will not.
No? Okay.
No, we'll be back next week. Maybe we'll do a guest. We need to do a guest.
Yes.
We need to have a guest on. We need to start gearing up our talks for CES 2022. That is going to be a hell of a. Why can't I get any dates? What dates? What dates is he looking for?
That's an interesting account too.
Yeah, that is an interesting account. What dates? Dot dot dot. What dates? I would try Bumble or Tinder. I mean, usually that works. I've never personally used them, but I hear a lot of people get good dates. But what dates? What dates?
Yeah, I don't know.
Mavic 3 launch has been Omni Shambles. I guess we could just read some comments. Grinder. Oh, Lon says Grinder.
A lot of weird accounts in your chat.
A lot of one.
Yeah.
Do.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, weird. Yeah, real weird. Oh, dot says thumbs up. Maybe that's what he was looking for. Good. I'm glad we could help. Glad we got that cleared.
You can't make this up.
You can't make this shit up, man.
My God.
All right. So next week we're back again. We'll find a guest. We're you know what? We have such good conversation. We don't really need guests. We don't need all that hogwash. This is like more of the late drone show. But we're consistent at least. So we're back next week on the 8th. Then we're doing the 15th. And then the 22nd. The 22nd, we'll have to see how the internet is at the cabin. If the internet is good at the cabin, we'll do a live stream. If the internet is not good, then no. What do you say? I think DJI is wrong on this one. Don't put it in your ass. Oh, I mean, I'd never put any drone in my ass. I mean, I did once try to put a mini in my ass, but that was like, I don't know. We were trying something new. We're role playing. But don't. No, you want to put something in. You can put the prop in. Just saying.
That's gonna be tough.
That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be hard coming out. I hear the RTH is fun.
It's always the end of the stream that just goes sideways.
It just goes so sideways, man. So sideways. Oh, you know what? Somebody just sent me something neat. Did you see that flyover at the Titans game? That's like a hot topic right now.
Yep.
Yeah. So at the Tennessee Titans game, the military flew some choppers, and they were low. They were pretty damn low, and they were low enough where they knocked over cameras and stuff. And I guess the FAA is investigating that. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, is it worth?
Well, I think part of it part of the commotion was there was an angle. I don't know if you saw all the videos. There was an angle where it looks like the chopper went under a cable. So
really,
yeah,
really.
There's a video out there. You see the chopper, they go under the cable. So the question was, did the pilot see that? Why did they go under the cable? And then if he didn't see it, like what would have been the casualty, right? If the helicopter did hit the cable, it was going to be a crash.
Oh, that would have been bad. There would have been no game. That would have been the most fatal. That would have been the most fatal NFL game to ever exist at that point.
Yeah. And then what somebody came back and said, I don't know if it was like, you know, the ESPN, somebody said, no, it was an illusion that the camera made where it made the cable appeared as if it was over the helicopter.
Okay.
I don't know. It looks like the chopper did go under the cable.
Does it? Maybe they're just trying to play that downplay that.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why they had to be that low anyways. Like, you know, clear the stadium. You know, you go over. Why'd they go that low? I don't know. Who authorized that is what I would say.
And FAA does have a policy in place, right? Military flyover 1,000 feet is the lowest it can go. There is.
Okay, so there is a
guideline. Yeah, there is a
Okay.
guideline for that, and they were not at they were under 1,000 feet for sure.
So somebody's probably going to get reprimanded.
Yeah,
somebody will get reprimanded. So, well, you know what? Hey, they're always reprimanding us, so maybe they need to get reprimanded too. We're always the ones, you know. Hey, drones are bad. But you know, I don't know. Oh well. Alrighty, guys, that's going to do it for that. Thank you, David, for that. David Vaughn did just send me that, and I thought that would have been good, like more towards the beginning. But thank you. Ken is looking like a snack.
and this Thomas guy, he
Thomas is so angry.
he has some fantasies.
So angry. He says, makes sense. They would want you to shove a drone in your ass, given the giant drone condom they made. I mean, he is so mad. So mad. Check out Thomas. I would encourage you to check out adamandeve.com. They have the condoms big enough for you to put that Mavic in your ass, my friend. I'm not telling you to do that. And if you do, I would say to always have adult supervision. But that's it. That's the show. Hope you enjoyed. We will be back again next week with more debauchery and drones in the dark or after dark. Late. It's the late drone show.
Peace out.
Peace.
I'll just get out my head and focus on what I know's coming. Yeah. Cause I can't fall asleep at night without seeing my dreams. Delusion and reality, I'm somewhere in between. These voices in my head get loud and they keep telling me that I'm a fool for trusting in these wings. But maybe, baby, this what flying feels like. Maybe, baby, this what flying feels like. Maybe, baby, this what flying feels like.
Hello? Yeah, you just order them. Just order them.
Well, I didn't know. Like,
You drunk?
oh,
Oh.
just laying in bed.
Okay. All right. Well, you order them so I don't have to order them, and I'll be home later.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right, bro.
Bye.
Bye. All right. You fucking kidding me, Eddie? Dude, what the fuck, Ed?